Hello and welcome to your 10-minute guided meditation. My name is Kristel, and for today's meditation, we're going to stay in our seated, but you have the option of laying down, finding the fetal position, or taking any seated or resting position or asana that brings you comfort, avoiding falling asleep if you can. But sitting on something may help. I choose to sit on a yoga block. It's a little bit firmer, but you can use a pillow or a bolster or a couple pillows you have at home. I just like to have my hips a little higher than my knees, especially if you come to a seated position and your knees are a little higher. It's really good to sit on something so that you can open your hips a little bit more. Your knees are going to rest a little lower than your hips, and we can get a little bit more open in our seated meditation. One foot can be in front of the other, or you can have one foot on top of the other one here for our meditation. But again, comfort is all about you. You don't have to look like what I'm looking like, just finding that comfort in your seated or laying down position here. And taking out any final adjustments, sitting up nice and tall without puffing out your chest, just rolling your shoulders back, sending them away from their ears, and really rooting down. No need to keep that perfect posture, but just avoiding hunching over as best you can, keeping a little bit of core engagement as we find our seated pose. You can rest your hands into your lap, your knees or your thighs, or maybe take your hands together in a mudra if you like. And if you feel comfortable too, just softly closing your eyes. Let's take a big inhale through our nose. Exhale to sigh it out. Just asking yourself if you are comfortable to start your meditation, if there's any last little kinks to be adjusted. And as we sit heavy here, or even lie heavy, preparing for our meditation, really rooting today. Feeling your tailbone, and without moving, just noticing where it is, pointing straight through your mat or what you're sitting on. Or if you're sitting, is it pointing towards your feet, your knees, coming forward, or pointing back behind you? That will kind of give you an indicator on how your pelvis is tilted. If you're laying down, the same thing. Notice if your tailbone is straight down to your feet, or more into the floor, or more up towards your ceiling. Then we're going to root our tailbone, even if you're lying down. Feel it, even almost like we're planting a seed, rooting our tailbone into the earth. And as we root our tail, maybe you visualize the tip of your tailbone, or the seed that you plant is going to be a red seed. And we're just going to leave this rooted seed for a few moments. See how it feels to sit. To let all of your body weight rest heavy into that space you've created through your tailbone. Notice any emotion that arises through this area. If there's any happy feelings, any fear, anything overwhelming. As the humans we are, we hold a lot through this area without even realizing this is kind of the attic of the body. We store our boxes, our junk, anything unwanted into this area. So as we sit and root, we're going to declutter this area. Maybe even visualizing yourself picking up a box and moving it out. Maybe you're walking through a jungle or a pathway and you're clearing cobwebs. Or maybe this red seed that you've planted begins to break through the soil. No longer trapped, no longer with four walls surrounding it. Knowing that you have space to grow and expand, to lift up, to break out. Having the freedom to grow your seed, to declutter this area or walk through this pathway. Whatever your mind starts to visualize, start to embrace. Explore where your mind takes you, creating new space along the way. Know there's no limitations. There's no roof. There's no walls. Endless space. And where you've explored through your visualization, you don't need to bring it all back and close everything off. Just remember where you started from. The red seed or root. Hopefully feeling a little bit more space. Start to bring your breath back into its organic form. But if you'd like to take a great big inhale and a great big sigh, you can. Letting go of anything else you need to let go of. If you're in a laying down position, more like Shavasana, you can start to wiggle your fingertips and your toes, eventually rolling onto your right or left side body in the fetal position. And without rushing, pushing yourself up into a seated position eventually, taking at least 3 or 4 breaths to do so. From our seated meditation, just gently bowing your head, chin towards your chest. Taking your hands to your heart center. Just giving yourself a nice positive message to end. Knowing that you have more space. You can bring this space, this growth, this opportunity with you at any point, not only in your meditation, but any time in your day-to-day. If you choose, just gently blinking your eyes open. I'd like to thank you so much for taking the opportunity to slow down and just take a little time for yourself. Again, my name is Kristel. If you have any comments or questions, you can leave them here or get in touch with True Touch. And from my heart to yours, namaste.